Kano, the beating heart of northern Nigeria, has been a symbol of power, tradition and resilience for over 1,000 years. Once ruled by Hausa kings and later Fulani emirs, this ancient city boasts a legacy of grandeur, wealth and political intrigue. But today, Kano finds itself at the center of an unprecedented crisis. Two emirs, each laying claim to its throne, have turned the city into a battleground of power, influence and identity. This is not just the story of a throne. It is the story of modern Africa, where tradition collides with democracy and ancient institutions struggle to find their place in a rapidly changing world. The Emirate of Kano dates back to the year 999, making it one of West Africa's oldest monarchies. For centuries, emirs ruled with absolute authority, dispensing justice, commanding armies and uniting their people under the banner of Islam. The seat of power was the Grand Palace of Kano, a sprawling architectural masterpiece adorned with Hausa-Fulani motifs where rulers sat on thrones of gold and silk. But times have changed. Today, the emir's power is largely ceremonial. While the emir still commands respect, real authority lies with Nigeria's elected officials. Yet, the throne remains deeply symbolic, a link to Kano's storied past and a key to influencing its future. In 2014, Lamido Sanusi, a former central bank governor with a reputation for reform and intellect, ascended the throne as Emir Sanusi. He was not a typical traditional ruler. Known for his modern ideas, Sanusi championed education for girls, women's rights and economic reforms. He criticized corruption openly, even calling out powerful politicians by name. But Sanusi's progressive stance was a double-edged sword. While it earned him respect in elite circles, it alienated him from many conservative subjects who saw him as a Western stooge. His outspokenness also earned him powerful enemies, particularly Governor Abdullahi Ganduje, a man whose reputation had already been tarnished by allegations of corruption. In 2020, tensions reached a boiling point. Ganduje, accusing Sanusi of insubordination, deposed him and installed a new emir, Aminu Ado Bayero, a quiet traditionalist leader and relative of Sanusi. Emir Aminu represented stability, a return to the old ways. Unlike Sanusi, he avoided controversy and embraced the conservative values of Kano's elite. Sanusi, humiliated, was exiled. Stripped of his throne and palace, he retreated to Lagos, where he plotted his return. At the local level, Governor Abba Yusuf, Ganduje's successor, vowed to reinstate Sanusi, earning the loyalty of Sanusi's supporters. On the federal stage, the ruling party backed Aminu, hoping to leverage his influence in the upcoming 2027 elections. For the first time in Kano's history, the city found itself with two emirs, Sanusi, reinstated by Yusuf, and Aminu, clinging to power with federal backing. Sanusi returned to Kano in May 2024, arriving in a private jet and welcomed by jubilant crowds. Governor Yusuf hosted a coronation ceremony where Sanusi was handed a letter of reinstatement. Supporters thronged the palace, cheering for their king. But when Sanusi entered the palace, he found it stripped bare. Curtains, furniture, even electrical outlets had been removed, a stark reminder of the tumultuous journey he faced. Aminu, meanwhile, had retreated to a smaller annex near the palace, guarded by armed police and loyalists. From there, he launched a legal battle, challenging his deposition in federal courts. The emir's struggle is not just political, it is deeply cultural. Emir Sanusi, with his embroidered robes and towering turbans, embodies the modernizing spirit of Kano. But his ideas, such as encouraging women to stand up to domestic violence and questioning polygamy, clash with the conservative values of many residents. Emir Aminu, by contrast, represents the old guard. Quiet and composed, he is seen as a guardian of Kano's traditions, a ruler who knows the value of dignified silence. Among the people of Kano, opinions are divided. Some hail Sanusi as a visionary reformer. Others see Aminu as the rightful heir, a stabilizing force in uncertain times. Governor Yusuf needs Sanusi's popularity to secure his re-election. Meanwhile, the federal government supports Aminu, hoping to sway Kano's voters, the largest voting bloc in Nigeria. The stakes are high. Analysts warn that the tension could erupt into violence. In the streets of Kano, supporters of both emirs stand guard with homemade weapons, ready to defend their chosen leader. The courts have become the latest battleground. State courts side with Sanusi, affirming his reinstatement, Federal courts favour Aminu, arguing that due process was not followed in his removal. Meanwhile, the palace historian Rukaya Salihi Bayero laments the division. "We must find a way to bring peace and stability back to Kano," she says. Late at night, the palace flags of both emirs fly side by side, a poignant symbol of a kingdom torn in two. The story of Kano's two emirs is far from over. It is a tale of power, tradition, and the challenges of modern governance. As the city awaits its fate, one question remains. Can Kano reconcile its glorious past with the demands of the present, or will the throne become a relic of history? Only time will tell. In Kano, the past is never far from the present. And in this ancient city, the battle for the throne is not just about who sits on it, but what it represents. Thank you for watching Seen and Heard Stories. If you enjoyed this tale, don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more captivating African folktale stories. See you in the next story.